Hello, and thank you for taking a look at the overview here. These numbers actually were printed off on December 28, 2010, and they represent numbers from the multiple listing service of Greater Cincinnati, and they comprise of the different suburbs, the service areas that are part of the MLS of Greater Cincinnati. But what we'll do here is just give you a little overview of some the latest figures that are available with the local marketplace. If we look at 2005 to 10 home sale prices, we look at that with condos. 2010, the arrow goes here, we're right around 162,000 give or take is the average sale price. If we look at 2007 and 6, we see that those were basically the highest years. And that's basically where the peak of the market was. So we see in contrast of where we are today compared to where we were before. And the difficult part of the market is the folks that really bought back, in the past 5-6 years, that bought at the height of the market. Those that bought at 100% are the ones that are the most challenging types of transactions out there, and that's where you hear a lot of folks doing short sales today, and that simply helps facilitate the seller, puts them in a situation where if the lender approves a lesser offer, the bank basically will take less on the loan in order to not take that property back in a foreclosure, and they'll just allow a short payoff on the loan. So we're doing a lot of short sales today too. Look at 2005, 2010 home sales average list price to sale price ratios with condos. We see we're at about 94 cents on the dollar in terms of where the market is today. So if your home is listed at $100,000, it could conceivably sell at or above $94,000. And residential sales, we look at the relationship between residential sales and mortgage rates. And if you see here, these mortgage rates are just phenomenal. They've been, they're really at the lowest level that it's even on this chart. And this chart goes back, 15 years. We look at the residential sales, and we're down to, right around, what is it here? Right around 1,100 units sold for the month of October. And scroll down a little further, another chart there, different breakdown. And we look here at median sale price with condos, right around 126,000. Median is typically always less than the average. And we look at the number of new listings entered with condos being included, in 1 month. I mean, almost 3,000 units have come on. So if you see today, the relationship is supply and demand, and we're seeing that the inventory is coming on much faster and far greater in numbers compared to the amount of buyers that are actually purchasing. So the issue is that basically we have much more inventory than we do buyers, and that is somewhat the biggest challenge today that's affecting the prices. We look here at 2005 to 2010 levels of inventory with condos included. We're basically at about 14,000 listings as of October, and that's available in the MLS. And if we look here at the next chart, this is interesting. Residential inventory, residential sales, and absorption rate. The residential inventory basically is at about 12 months of inventory. Residential sales is basically at around 1 month of purchases, 1 month of demand. What we do in order to come up with what's called the absorption rate is we actually take the relationship between the demand and the supply, and that gives us the absorption rate. The absorption rate tells us the month of supply, and we're up to 15 months of supply. So, it could conceivably, at the going rate of consumers purchasing homes, or the home buyers, purchasing homes today, it could take 15.5 months to conceivably sell a property. And if you look at the next chart here, we got another little breakdown of some different breakdowns in different categories and comparisons. And we look at home sales price with condos right around 162,000. And we look at new pendings. In 2010, we're looking at October again, and we're looking at, right around 1,300, 1,250 to 1,300 new pendings. And new pending basically means that's where a listing was active, and then a contract came in on it, and it goes pending. And pending means that it's simply waiting for a closing to occur, which is basically the buyer's financing is being funded on a certain day, which is the closing day, and it's simply that is when the deed is transferred to the buyer. And until that actual event occurs, the listing is pending in the system. So the number of new pendings that occurred in October was right around 1,300 or so. Actually, around 1,200 to 1,300, right in that range. But if you look back here at the new pendings in 2008, you look at some of the levels here. You see that the numbers were, again, their peak in previous years, and that's kind of, again, where much of the challenge is today, is that where we're at due to the home prices and all the demand that we had. Existing in new home sales with condos, average day on market today is 82 days currently on the market. And used to be at the height of the market as low as just under 60 days. And basically it's just an overview of the market. We look at residential sales, single-family condos, and we look at this basically. We see again in 2007 where there was the hyperinflated years, and today's numbers in October, where we are in relationship to previous years. So as you see, we're starting to level out, but this is kind of when the end, so we think we're maybe in the bottom here, and we're not exactly sure if we're coming out or still going in, and that's something that will still be yet to be determined. Hopefully you find this information helpful. If you'd like a copy of these charts, certainly you can email roger@rogersexton.com, and I'd be happy to provide a copy to you. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll talk to you soon if you need any help. Thank you.